Hi, my name is Charlie Holdenlow, and as part of my practical I'm going to be teaching a kit shelter today. So as usual, when you get to your site that you've selected, you're going to be thinking about your ground area. So having a look round on the floor, you can get a stick if you want to and move the mulch underneath. You're checking for ants' nests, animal homes. You don't want to be disturbing the wildlife. You definitely don't want to be sleeping on an ant's nest. And next thing you want to be doing is looking up. So where have you chosen? Have you got two sturdy trees? So this is quite an old oak tree. There's some moss on here, but it's quite sturdy even. And then a nice pine, give it a hug. Ah, really solid. And looking up, are there any dead branches hanging in the trees that could fall down on top of you? Actually at the moment we've got some nice leaf cover, and obviously with an evergreen we've got some pine needle cover up there, so that's nice if it rains, but we will have a tarp. And the kit shelter is exactly what it says on the tin. It's there to protect your kit. So it's slightly different to our low shelter, and I'm going to show you why. So firstly, we need to tie our first knot. So we're going to do a different knot this time. We'll do a Prusik knot. So it always helps if you've got all your knots out of your piece of rope. So, and we want it quite high this time. So that's how it's a bit different. So we're going to go high, just above chest level. And we're going to do a Prusik knot. So we're going to come around the tree, and we're going to cross over our rope 2 times. So we're going to make 2 loops. 1 loop, 2 loops. You see that there? Like that. Okay? And then we're going to take the standing end and we're going to come under this V, like this. And guess what? Look, it makes a little loop. So guess what? We're going to put our standing end through our loop, like most of our knots. And then we're just going to pull that nice and tight. Okay, and then what happens is this should push and pull. So this is called a Prusik knot. So can you see it's made it nice and loose? But what we want to do is we want to make it nice and tight to our tree. So this is just showing you the different types of knot that we have. And the timber hitch is perfectly adequate for what we want to be doing. But under tension, that is not going to move anywhere. Okay, so we're going to pull tension, and then we're going to come and hug our tree like so, and then we're going to do our timber hitch again. So who remembers that one? So you go round the tree, under and back on yourself, yeah, and then you're going to just loop around. Who remembers how many times? So 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, a lovely bit of autumnal sunshine coming through there. Okay, and we're going to just make sure that's nice and tight. And then I always like to do a little half hitch, just because I like to know it's definitely secure. Okay, so that's just on the bite there. So we've got our nice taut line, yeah? All right, next thing is we want to take our tarp. Look, here's the tarp here. I'm going to pop the tarp over the top of my guy line. Like so. In the camera, just going to pull that round. Okay, so for the low shelter we had a much lower guy line, and we put we put the tarp in half. This is a kit shelter, so what we're going to do, we're going to peg out the back 2 corners. So I'm just going to ask my assistant to hold that because there's a bit of a breeze today. Don't want that going anywhere. So I've got my 2 pegs. Okay, I'm going to take one corner. We're just going to peg it directly into the ground. Find a non-rooty bit, really. There we go. And then we're going to take our second corner and peg it into the ground. And if we need to extend, we can get some guy lines and extend it. Right, and so the next bit is we're going to use the 2 corners at the front. So if I can ask you to hold that and just get some string. Okie dokie, so we're just going to tie on to our tarp. Okay, we don't need anything fancy, I'm just going to do an overhand knot here. And then I'm going to take a stick, I think there's one here, Okay, ideally it needs to be a lot higher, but we're going to go with this. No, it needs to be a bit higher than that one. Let's go for a different stick. Aha, this is better. Right, so we need to tie this string onto this stick, and so what we're going to use a clove hitch. So a clove hitch is 2 loops, 1, 2. You put the first one on top of the second one, and then you just drop that onto your stick. Let's go right over that spiky bit, and then you can drop it where you want it to sit. So I'm going to pop it there. Okay, nice clove hitch. Cool. And then, wow, really cool fungus on it, so I want to be careful there. Then we're going to peg it out. So again, do a little clove hitch onto your peg. Let's go right down here. So 1 loop, 2 loops, first loop on the second loop, pop it onto your peg like so. Stick's a bit wonky. Then we're going to go out at a 45-degree angle to your stick. So need some adjusting. Right, so we're going to just look at the other one, and then you might need to adjust that. So, oh look, should have sorted out my pieces of string before I started.
Look on the floor. Next to it on the floor is another bit. On the right.
Oh yes. There we go. Sorry, thank you, helpful assistant. Just blended in. Right, so we're going to tighten this onto here like this. I'm just going to look for another stick. Oh. And nothing, oh, alright. Nothing fancy here. Just doing 2 overhands together. Like that. And then we need another stick to come out here. So, I think there's one over here by this tree. Let's have a look. Not very long, so just bear with me. I think I've got a bit of a hub to stick. See if I can find something a bit better maybe over here. Ah, here. This is a good one. So yeah, you're looking for a stick about, I mean I'm 5'7", so you kind of wanted something about the same height as yourself really. The tighter the better, the taller the better really. So we're going to do another another clove hitch. So 1 loop, 2 loop, ooh, first loop on the second, so you got your nice loop there, and then you can pop it over the top. Oops, don't miss the loops though. There we go. And then you just measure it against your kit shelter. So that's good. So, yep, perfect. Right, I need my peg back, thank you. So we're going to go out about 45 degrees again. And we're going to do another clove hitch. Sorry. So 1 loop, 2 loops, 1 loop on the top of the second. Pop it on your peg hole, or your peg even. There we go, and then we're going to pop that into the ground.
Charlie, not too tight.
Oh, it's nice and wet here. The ground's nice and soft even. So when they come out. Let's have a look. Okay, it needs to come out a bit more, so we're going to put the clay pitch slightly lower. So it's putting too tight on the peg and it's just putting the peg straight out the ground, which is not what we want. So we've got a clay pitch there. There we go. There we go. Nice and tight. Okie dokie, right, so looking at the kit shelter, what I might do is I might pull the back out slightly, and it's a bit saggy. We want to get it so it's quite taut, because if it rains, what we don't want to do is have the rain collecting on the back. I might have to adjust that stick as well. So this is where we now titivate and sort out our shelter, so it's perfect. Better. I'm happy with that. So your kit would live just under the back here, and so if it rained, that would keep it nice and dry.